Welcome to the Dram Amateur Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dram Amateur Podcast. My name is Jason. Thank you so much for listening today. Very much appreciated. If you do not follow me, please do so. You can find me on Instagram under Dram_amateur. You can also find me on the Facebooks under the Dram Amateur Podcast. If you're interested in actually paying attention to what I do, Instagram's probably the best place. I haven't really found another place to settle in on yet that I want to put my content. I'm still tinkering with the fact that I want to record video for these and then publish it on Amazon. I don't think I'm pretty enough for video, so we're going to stick with podcasts for right now. So, again, thanks so much for joining. Appreciate it. So today's topic, it's Whiskey Wednesday. It is Whiskey Wednesday. I'm excited about Whiskey Wednesday. Also, I am in a really good mood today. This week at work has been very challenging. There's been a couple topics that it's been very challenging. We'll put it that way. But I have persevered this week, and I have come out with a thicker skin and a IDGAF attitude that I'm going to continue down the path that I want to go down, and everybody can go tell me to pound sand if they don't like it. So that is how my week's been. But it's Whiskey Wednesday, so we'll get to that here in a minute. Some topics, quick topics. So fun things from my side. I really appreciate first of all, if you haven't listened to the last podcast, the shit show that it was, a lot of people liked it. And thank you. I got more feedback from that podcast than I expected. A lot of people, so if you didn't listen, go back and listen. It was a podcast about my idea was it was recorded last Wednesday. I think that was game 3 of yes, it was game 3 of the NLDS with the Braves and the Phillies. Oh God, gross. Sorry, I don't like the Phillies. You guys know this already. And my idea, I came up with this idea during work. I was super duper excited. I'm like, holy shit, Braves are on today. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to make dinner. I'm going to come upstairs. I'm going to record the podcast. I'll watch the game. And we'll we'll cheer together, we'll celebrate together, even if we don't win, right? If it's a close game, we'll be a little sad together, we'll be a little this. I was like, this will be fun. I'll pour a drink. We'll do tasting notes in between innings. I was like, this is gonna be fun, even for 45 minutes, right? I'm like, this is gonna be a fun podcast. Well, if you watch any of the game, it all went sideways. We were down, I don't even know, a lot to a little in the matter of minutes. The game started at 5. I think I was done making dinner at 6:30. The game was already out of control. And it's funny because I was pissed because I was like, you know what? I'm like, I don't even want to record. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to record. And my wife's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like, yep, I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm doing it. And I'm glad I did. It was really interesting how everybody who was Braves fans, of course, reached out, and I had a lot of people reach out and said, "Hey, I really appreciated that. I you had a plan and you could have executed on it, and you could have went a different route. You could have scrapped your podcast because you wait till the last minute to record your damn podcasts every week." But I didn't, and I stuck with it, and people kind of appreciated it, and it was kind of refreshing to hear that. So I got, like I said, a lot of feedback on that. Some people even said it was funny, right? Because they remembered, when I was watching the game, I was like, son of a, you know what? I'm like, fucking Bryce Harper, hits another home run. And they were like, I remember watching that. I remember feeling the same way. So that was pretty cool, man. I don't know. I know I don't have 100 listeners yet or anything like that, but the people that do listen and do interact and do give me feedback, I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. So that was fun. Some other things this week too. Fun thing for today. I might be kicking myself, but I passed on a bottle today. Michael Pints, Pipes, and Dram was out hunting, and he found a Mahenta Añejo. And Magenta Añejo is not regularly available. I could have bought one earlier because I did the release of it on their website. So I signed up on their website. I got notified to get an information when it released, and it dropped. And I was like, nah, I don't want to spend. It's $200. I was like, I don't want to spend $200 on it. I'm not trying to say I'm limiting my purchases, but I'm also aware that, again, I have a million bottles and I need to chill out. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pass. Well, then Michael today, Pints, Pipes, and Drams on Instagram. If you don't follow him, please go give him a follow. Great guy. Sends me a picture of it. And I was like, son of a gun. And it was $200. And I was like, I thought about it for a second. And I looked at the beautiful box that it comes in. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pass on it. I told my wife that tonight at dinner. And I said, you'd be proud of me. I passed on it. She's like, why did you do that? She's like, you've been wanting that forever. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I'm just in this weird funk right now where it's just not the same purchase wise. I don't know. I'm just being very picky right now. I need to chill out. I need to not be picky, but at the same time I am. How about a happy in between, right? Can I not be so picky, but not be not picky that I'm kind of like medium picky? Would that be possible? So I didn't buy it. He did. He sends a picture afterwards and he bought it. Which is pretty funny. So he has it. Hopefully, I guess, I'm sure I'll get a sample of it. But he snagged it. So pretty cool to see. This week at Cornhole, we got our ass kicked again. That was fun. But we ended up having to go to a new bar. So if you remember my story from last week, my favorite bartender in the entire world, has left our previously favorite restaurant. That is no longer the case. We had to try somewhere new. So there's another restaurant in town that we went to, a little bit more specialized of a restaurant as far as food goes. But atmosphere is I wouldn't say it's a little bit more dressier, maybe a little bit, but still went. I knew the bar is really good. I knew they had good pours. So we went there. Man, my two friends were like, well, we could go to this other place. And I was like, let's go here. It's better. And they listened and it was awesome. So like we went, they had Jack Daniel's 12 still. So I got the last pour out of the bottle, which was about 3 ounces. That was, I think, unless they had 2 bottles, I drank 4 or 5 pours out of that bottle. I drank 5 pours out of that bottle. 6 pours? Ooh, hold on. It might be 6. I went there 3 different times having it. It might be 5 or 6 pours out of that bottle. I highly doubt they got 2. I would be surprised about that. So anyways, so I enjoyed the Jack 12, polished that off. And then I tried something I hadn't tried before. Y'all are going to be surprised about this. I have never tried Knob Creek 12. Did you get surprised? I was. So like after I got done, I was asking what they had allocated. He had a purple top Willet, the weeded one. They had Stag, they had Blanton's, they had all this stuff, right? All that stuff. But I went over to the bar and looked, and he didn't really have anything that I was like wowed by. So I looked to the left, and there it was. It was literally standing in like the middle of the shelf by itself too. Like it was like some cast off or something. I'm like, you had Knob Creek 12. I'm like, I'm going to try a pour of that. Man, I understand what the hype is now. I mean, for a 12-year-old bourbon, for what it was, I really enjoyed it. I was like, this stuff's pretty freaking good. And I think the price is not bad either. I think I see you guys dropping $75 on it, $70, $80 on it. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. That was good stuff. So that was cool. My buddy Troy, he ended up trying the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel and enjoyed it. He tried he had Blanton's. It was so funny. The bartender's cool. I think he remembered me because I've been in there for so much. So Troy's been looking for a Blanton's for retail, right? Or slightly over. It's like I told him, I said, dude, ideally, in my opinion, $70 is the highest I'd go on Blanton's if I found it and I wanted one. I said, maybe 80, right? I'm like, anything other than that, I just don't think it's worth it. So Troy says, he goes, you know what? He's like, I'm not going to buy a bottle of this stuff. I never find it out. He's like, we're going to go with a pour of Blanton's just so I can get it out of the way. The bartender completely appreciates. He's like, I wouldn't buy a bottle of it either for the price it's going for. He's like, that's a smart freaking decision, blah, blah, blah. So that was really cool. So he had a pour of that. And then he had a pour of that is Stellum, the Black Label Stellum Rye. I've had that pour at that restaurant. I've probably had a pour out of that bottle a while ago, but that stuff, it's the bottle. It's $100. Man, that stuff's great. I really enjoy it. But when I told the bartender, it's funny. I said, I came in here and had that same pour. I said, I really enjoyed it. But every single time I go to the liquor store and I see one, I'm like, man, I don't think I'm going to get it. And I think what for me is it's that $100 price point. I don't know if listen, it's really, really good. I'm not even kidding with you. It's really good. But I don't know if that 100 price point's like the right place. And Troy had it and he says, I think 75 I'd buy it. I looked at Troy and I said, you know what's funny? I said, I think I agree with you. If it was $75, I'd buy it. But yeah, a solid pour. He really enjoyed that too. And then what did Alan have? Alan was with us too. He had his dirty martini, which he always has. He had an old fashioned. He had something else bourbon wise, but I don't remember what it was. I don't quite recall what it was. But anyway, so found a new bar spot, told the bartender, you're stuck with us now on Mondays. So that'll be pretty fun to see how, to see if he can get stuck with us. I have to give props to my old bartender, or my favorite bartender. I should say old bartender. If she ever gets a job at another restaurant or a bar, then we're definitely going back. But Allie put up with our shit quite a bit. She was pretty awesome for putting up with our shit. She used to enter the tickets in the system as Corny Boys, which was fun. I think she even started doing Corny Boys 1, 2, 3, depending on how many there was there. So, that was funny too. So props to her. She was awesome. Totally miss her. And the fun thing too. So when I left the bar or the restaurant we had drinks at on Monday, I drove by the old restaurant that we stopped going to because she's not there anymore. And I'm not going to patronage that place. We normally, she was cool. I mean, they close at 9, but I mean, there was nights we'd stay till 9:15, 9:30, 10 o'clock. And she was cool with it because she knew we weren't ordering ridiculous drinks that she had to make a mess. And we were aware of that too, right? We're not assholes. We're not going to have this, order that stuff so late. So they were able to clean and do all the stuff they had to do. And then they just finished up when I left. Or we left. So it was fun. I drove by at 9:15 on Monday night. The place was a ghost town. All the lights were off. All the chairs were put up. And I literally laughed and I said, that is the first time I've ever seen that restaurant look like that early on a Monday night. And easily, well, maybe the Monday nights we didn't go, but from my experience, easily 2.5, 3 years. 2.5, 3 years. I'm like, that's really sad. Like at 9:15, 15 minutes after they closed, that place was shut down. Nobody around, everything put up and just dark. And I was like, man, all the light that was in there was just like a security light or whatever they have on in there. So I was like, that's crazy. So I chuckled a little bit. I'm like, ha ha ha. Serves you right. You lost customers because of whatever happened, and she's not there anymore. But it's on them and not her. I know that for a fact. So so that's a funny joke. Let's see. Braves lost. Yeah, Braves lost. We won't even go down that road. My Niners lost this weekend. Man, it was painful. Oh, that was painful. I was prepared for that, I think. I expected it to happen. Let's see. Yeah, I was okay with it. I got really excited when the game started off the way it did, and then as things started going downhill pretty quickly. It's pretty funny to watch now. You get one loss and you see how much your team is then like moved down in rankings or whatever. I just chuckle. I'm like, you guys, you give us one loss and you drop us down in the rankings as a one loss. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, it was a very tough team to play. It was sloppy weather. It was in Cleveland. It's like, and it wasn't even that big of a loss. Like we should have won that game. We missed 2 field goals. We missed a number of missed passing opportunities as far as passes out of wide receivers' reaches. We had many drop balls from wide receivers. It was not a good showing from our team as a whole. So that was pretty funny that that they've done that. It is what it is. Sorry. I gotta learn how to mute this mic. Ooh, that came in sharp. Ooh, I hope that fixes it. I gotta learn how to mute this damn mic. Somebody needs to teach me all this shit. And mute button. Silence a track signal, audibly removing it from the overall project. Oh. I hope that works. I'll have to try some other time. Anyway, squirrel. Yeah. So that was a shit show. I killed a bottle this week. Y'all are gonna laugh at me for what I killed, but I killed one. I'm pretty proud of that because I don't kill very much, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you that with this kill, I'm actually kind of sad to see it go. I have another batch of this, and I have a barrel pick, and I want the new batch of it because what I heard is a banger. So I killed this week the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch B520. I've had this for a while. I started drinking it again lately when it got cold, and man, it really hit. Like, it hit home pretty good for me. This thing was awesome. The last third of the bottle, or probably last third, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I felt it was different than the first 2/3 of the bottle, not in a completely different way, but I definitely appreciated it a lot more. This one was the Batch B520, 63.6 proof. 63.6% alcohol, 127.2 proof. So pretty sad to see it go, but it is what it is. It's 12 years old. It was 12 years old, non-filtered. So yeah, so cool. Cool to kill a bottle. Pretty fun. And I only have, like I said, if I can find a C923, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. And that's one of the reasons I think I didn't buy the Magenta. Because this week is Max's Bottle Shop's birthday, this weekend on Saturday. I'm super excited to go. I won, my ticket got pulled in the raffle, so I get to buy a raffle bottle. I don't know what I get to buy yet. I don't know if he picks it out for me. I don't know what that is, but super excited to go hang out there on Saturday, celebrate their birthday. I think it's their 10th year, if I'm not mistaken. So super excited to go do that. So I'm saving my pennies in hopes that he has bangers that I need to take home with me. So I figured I'd save my pennies and see what he's got. So yeah, so rest in peace, Elijah Craig. Great bottle, great pour. Like I said, I think I have a 520 or a 21, and I think I have an 8 or 9 year barrel pick. So anyways, we'll have to crack those and see how they are. The barrel pick's not cracked. The other one is, and I think it's half gone. So I'm going to have to start tearing into that. All right. So tonight, I pulled one out of the Nerds and Burbs idea box. He only has one idea in the box so far, but it's still a good idea. So I pulled it out. The Nerds and Burbs has been a huge supporter of the channel. Dude's awesome. So much appreciate him. Definitely listen to him or go follow him if you don't. But I decided I was going to go crack a bottle and do a tasting. I walked in to Jason's Liquors. That's what I call my stash. I walked into Jason's Liquors with a bottle in mind that I was going to crack that I haven't cracked yet. I have a Blue Note 9 year. So when they used to do the tall bottles of Blue Note, and they had 9 year, I had found one on a shelf with dust on it, and I had never had one. I heard they're pretty good, so I ended up snagging one. I haven't opened it yet. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, I have bottles that just sit there, and I just look at them like, I want to open this. I'm excited. And then I want to go drink something, and I'm like, I don't feel like that tonight. Let's do this. So I just haven't been in the right mood to do it. Guess what? Same thing happened tonight. I walked in and I was intending on getting that. Oh, also Blue Notes. If I can ever find a Blue Note 17 for the right price, I want one. Everybody check that and keep that in the back of your mind. Anyway, I walked in and that was my goal, and I stopped to go reach for it because it's at the bottom shelf. And that's, no offense, it's not a bottom shelf one. I'm like, just where it was. And a bright shining light from the corner of the room reached out to me. Like, I swear a freaking hand reached out and slapped me in the face and was like, drink more. Yeah. So that's what I am. So it's Whiskey Wednesday. Anybody want to take a guess? No guesses. Sweet. Gonna crack open the Jack Daniel's Distillery straight Tennessee whiskey finished in Añejo tequila barrels. Come on, man. This is like, it's a distillery only release. It is something that is unique for the podcast, right? Because if I screw up the tasting notes, ain't nobody knows what it is, right? I like tequila too, so I should be able to pick out some of the tequila, some of the or some of the whiskey, right? Come on, I mean, this is perfect. I'm excited about it. I'm pretty stoked. So let's go over the deets. Oh, and then it's a screw top, so you guys get to hear me pop a screw top. That'll be fun. So this is Tennessee whiskey finished in Añejo tequila barrels, which marry the flavors of agave and oak. Duh. This is 90 proof. It comes in 375 bottles. Selection number 11, released on July of 2023, selected by whiskey taster Danny Lamb. So let's see. What does it say in the back? At first, our well-traveled barrels aged Jack Daniels, then they matured Añejo tequila in Mexico before returning home to finish this fine Tennessee whiskey. You know what? In reading that, I think honestly, there's an entire podcast about a whole barrel exchanges that organizations and companies do between each other. I have heard stories on top of stories on top of stories about the way the barrel exchanges go, and how much of a big market it is, to be honest with you too. I don't know market in terms of like sales or anything like that, but market as far as like they find ways to repurpose them. They do collaborations with people, all of those things. So I heard it's a very interesting and a very that's the word I'm looking for. I don't want to say vast, but like it's larger than I think we all imagine. That's what I want. You know what? That's perfect. Good job, Jason. I think it's larger than we all imagine. So yeah, I might have to do a podcast on that. So tasting notes. Here we go. So I'm gonna cheat. Shouldn't cheat, but I'm gonna. Aromas of sweet citrus and light. Oh, here. You know what? let me read this the right way. All right, here we go. Aromas of sweet citrus and light oak on the nose with a taste. Oh, I can't even talk today. Let me do it again. Aromas of sweet citrus and light oak on the nose with a taste of brown sugar and dried spices, crowned by notes of aged tequila mingled with a Tennessee whiskey sweetness. That's awesome. All right. Bottle. All right, there we go. Bottle's open. All right, pour this bad boy out. Let's see how it is. And if you had this, I'd be curious to see what you think of it. If you have had it, find me on Insta. Leave me a little bit of a feedback. I'd like to know. All right, it is poured. And let's see. And see, this is where I wish I had somebody else to fill white space. Because otherwise you're just sitting here waiting for me to smell things and taste things. I mean, on the nose, I just get bourbon. I don't get any tequila at all. I get zero tequila. Zero. Maybe I'm wondering with maybe a little air if it opens up. So this is something I'm gonna have to share with all my tequila lovers out there, right? I mean, you gotta try a Tennessee, you gotta try a little JD with a little aged Añejo barrels. Yeah, I mean, not really. It's all Jack Daniels. So, oh, my wife just came in to get changed. This will be fun. She just gave me a look. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's see how it is. Like I said, here, you do this. Oh, you gotta get pants on first. You don't have to get pants on. You can leave your pants off. I'm all right with that. This is not what this podcast is about, people. Get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah.
Is it tequila?
Yeah, no, it's Jack Daniels finished in tequila barrels, añejo barrels. Smell it. Do you smell any añejo? Do you smell any tequila on that at all?
Like this much.
She
like
thinks just a
tiny.
little bit. Just a little bit. All right.
Am I gonna like it?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried it. You want to try it first? Oh, go ahead. One of these days, she's going to join me in a podcast. She fucking hates doing podcasts, but one of these days, we're going to do a podcast together.
Hate it.
Yeah, you
I just don't feel ready.
Oh, God. She
All
doesn't
the
feel
time.
ready. I'm never ready.
I'm a planner.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a planner. I just jump in and do this shit. It's down. It's in. It's around. And... wait. She was like, this is good.
Shit.
I think she might like it a little bit.
That's delicious.
Okay. All right. We got our first.
I'm not a usual fan of bourbon or tequila.
Whoa.
That's delicious.
What is happening right now? Wow. She just said let me tell you something. If there was a score that could be assigned to this out of 10, she probably would have given it a 9, an 8, 9, or a 10. I mean, she was pretty into this. So, all right. Sorry. I had a little sidetrack there. All right. Cheers. Let's give it a shot. Very light on the palate. As far as like, it's not chewy, it's not oily. Very watered down. It's 90 proof. A little drying, to be honest with you, too. Actually, really drying. Yeah, I got bourbon. I didn't get much tequila. I mean, no, I still didn't. I mean, the añejos that I have, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this with añejos. Añejos to me are very polarizing. You're either really impressed with it or you're let down. I don't want to say you're not impressed, but you're just let down, because I have had some añejos that are absolutely freaking killer. The Don Fulano añejo is really good. Actually, I think I've had the Don Fulano extra añejo. Did I have the extra añejo or just the añejo? I think I had just the añejo. I like the Jose Cuervo de la Familia extra añejo. That's really good. The Cascanes añejo is fantastic. There was another añejo that I had I was a little let down by. The Tequila Ocho añejo I did not like. And I love Tequila Ocho. The G4 añejo, I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit let down on that one also. So actually, do I have the añejo or the extra añejo? I don't know. Either way, I was let down. I was really, we're going to go back to the Magenta, and Michael's going to listen to this and be like, haha, you have FOMO, you're screwed. The Magenta extra añejo the Magenta añejo that he bought today, I really had pretty high hopes for that, because the repo that they have is really good, and it's unique. I think it's unique. I really enjoy it. So I'm a little disappointed, and Troy's gonna kick my ass when he hears that I passed on that. He probably should have said. He's probably going to tell me, why didn't you call me? We would have split the bottle, or I would have paid for a quarter of it and you paid for the rest, and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure I'm not going to hear the end of it from Troy. I don't blame him. I should have snagged it, but that's all right. I'll have another opportunity to buy it sometime. It's not like it's a limit. It's not like it's a once only release or anything like that. They'll put it back out. But yeah, still now, like, varied watered down Jack Daniels. And I mean, it's probably like, I mean, it's just Jack Daniels. I mean, good sweet, it's just bourbon or whiskey. It's just whiskey. There's nothing special about it. It has a good long finish. It's mostly back palate. Like I said, front palate and mid palate were very like watery. There wasn't a lot of like substance to it. You couldn't chew it. It wasn't oily. Not very viscous. And then you just get your normal bourbon stuff. So let me do another one. Let's see if I get anything. And maybe this is something I got to revisit in a little bit, right? Maybe I got to let a little bit of air get into it. I think too, as I'm sitting here talking, I want to say that Mash and Drum tried this as well. And I want to tell you that on his video, he had a sample of this on the video after it had been opened. And I think that he said that he tried it at first and he wasn't impressed. There was nothing special with it. But then after air got into it and it opened up, that the añejo started to come through on it, or the tequila finish started to come through on it. So I might be wrong with that. Now I got to go back and watch the video again. But yeah, I mean, so back to the nose. I don't get any tequila still. I'm sorry. I just don't. And I listen again. I love Jack Daniels, right? Jack Daniels, Old Forester, and Wild Turkey are probably my top 3 distilleries. There's several others that are extremely close. This is it's just bourbon, or it's just whiskey. I'm not getting anything. All right, let's do another swig. Let's see what I get. And let's go from there. Nothing. Nothing. 0. It is very drying. I mean, my entire palate is dry. Yeah, I am not getting any tequila, influence in that at all. And I'm not going to say that because that'd be, yeah, never mind. That's not going to make sense. Yeah, I'm not getting any tequila on that at all. And again, maybe it just needs some air, right? Maybe it needs to open up. Maybe it needs some air in the bottle to get that stuff out. I mean, I'm not sad that I snagged it. Maybe my palate's jacked up tonight too. I don't think so. I mean, I've had 2 swigs of it already, and I'm just not tasting. I'm not tasting the tequila at all. Let me do another smaller sip. Yeah. I'm not getting it. I'm very much getting your standard Jack Daniels. Listen, when I tell you it's very drying, it's very drying. I get a lot of the the charcoal filtering influence on it, right? I get that mid to back palate. Even on the finish, I'm not getting anything. So that's it. I mean, that's my review. It is what it is, man. Honest, right? Transparent AF. But yeah, that's my review. So Jack Daniel's Distillery Series, a straight Tennessee whiskey finished in añejo tequila barrels. Again, I'm going to wait for it to open up. Not a bad pour. It doesn't taste terrible. It just doesn't have the tequila influence that I would have expected with it. Take it with a grain of salt. I would say that if you're at this distillery, get one. I mean, that's a $3.75. You're going to spend $40 on it. You just do it. It's cool to freaking have. But I'd be curious if anybody else, if they've tried it, to let me know. Reach out to me and give me a shout. And like I said, I'm going to revisit it when it opens up and see. But yeah, it's pretty good stuff. If not, the wife will drink it. Yeah, it's 90 proof. She can enjoy it. So, one more housekeeping item for the week. As I've talked to you guys before, the last podcast, timing is getting a little hard right now for me. Transparency, right? I've always told you guys I'll just be myself. I think that's the thing. I appreciate this. This is an outlet for me. If I get listeners, to me, it's just a bonus. This is just a way for me to kind of get things off my chest and have a good time after a long day at work or a long week at work. But right now, things have been a little crazy. Life's a little crazy. I don't have time to really record on the weekends like I used to, so I'm constantly recording on a Wednesday night and trying to like rush with dinner and put it together and spend some time and get it done. So, and another thing too, like I have to set everything up. I don't have a dedicated area to do this. I have to do it at my work desk. So I got to get everything set up, which doesn't take long. I mean, don't get me wrong. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, but still setting it up, breaking it down, editing everything. So, just to kind of let you guys know, I might move to a once every 2 week format or maybe once every 10 days format or something. I think I just need a little bit more time to get things planned. I started, we did the interview, right? I totally want to do an interview with Nerds and Burbs. I'd love to have Pints, Pipes, and Drams on as well. My two buddies that live close to me, we play cornhole with, Troy and Alan. They've expressed interest. Troy has even expressed interest coming over and doing the podcast. So I'm excited about that, right? And I want to do that, but there's a level of planning that goes into that, and you can't. And right now, I think I need the time to plan a little bit better to get these things done. I would really appreciate a 2 week plan to say, hey, dear person, do you want to be on the podcast? Let's find a time that works for you. Let's do this. And then obviously align schedules. And then over that 2 week time frame, we make a plan and what we're going to talk about and all that. So I'm not set in stone on this decision yet. I'm letting everybody know from a listener perspective that if I do not have a podcast release next week, then it's because I'm moving to a once every 10 day or once every 2 week format. And I thought about even doing mini episodes, right? I would love to have a dedicated space where everything's set up always, and I just pop in, record, be done, and move on. So that I think is my little hurdle with the mini episode, that if I'm going to sit down and set everything up, take the 10 minutes to do that, then I might as well just record a whole episode. And then that way we have it recorded and we can publish it. But I'm just struggling with time now. So I appreciate you guys all as listeners. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Again, this is an outlet for me. So for you guys to really like kind of start, you really appreciate for you guys to listen to something that I did for fun for me, that was an outlet, and to have people listen on a weekly basis. I really appreciate you. It really means a lot to me, and I want to continue this, and it's something I definitely want to do. I do not want to stop doing this. I absolutely love to do this. I love to tell people I have a podcast. For me, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. So, again, going to keep the podcast. May release minisodes, and maybe moving to a once every 10 day or 14 day format, once every 2 week format. So it just depends on my schedule, timing, things to record, those kinds of things. So just bear with me. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys understanding and continuing to listen, continuing to provide the support. And if I mentioned your name, you're probably going to be on my podcast at some point as well. So that would be cool. Another thing I want to do too is Instagram Lives. Pints, Pipes, and Drams me and Tim talked about doing it, and says, yeah, we'll do it. I think part of my problem with that, and I think part of the problem I don't do video, is I don't have a backdrop. I'm in my bedroom. I don't want my backdrop to be a white effing wall or a door behind me that has herbs drying on it. Yes, I dry my own herbs that I grow. Yes, I'm nerdy like that, but I like to cook and I want fresh herbs or my own dried herbs. So I don't want I don't want a bad backdrop. I want to do it the right way. So I got to figure that out. Does anybody know, can you do a green screen on Instagram? Can you I don't have a green screen, but can you set one up? I know the other software I have to do recordings with people, I can do a green screen. So that's why I've thought about doing YouTube. I just don't know if anybody would watch me on YouTube. I don't think I'm that interesting from sitting down and talking about shit. Maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I would expand my viewers. I don't know. One of these days, I'm going to have the time to do it. The other thing too, I want to have a damn intro. I want to have a damn outro. It's funny. I sat down tonight and I was like, hey, welcome to the Dram. I was like, yeah, I need damn entry music and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I've rambled for 5 fucking minutes about bullshit. So I apologize for that. But thanks guys for listening. Very much appreciated. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Hit me up. Let me know if you tried this Jack Daniels. Let me know what you thought about it. Like I said, pretty decent pour, not that bad. I don't get the tequila, but maybe it opens up. Let me know if you had the same experience. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening to the Dram Amateur Podcast. My name is Jason. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. I've said this twice already. You know what? Another thing? Listen, transparency. I need to learn how to close out a fucking episode, for crying out loud. Here we go. Cheers, motherfuckers. See you later. This is the Dram Amateur Podcast.